This is the sand walk of Charles Darwin, who in the 19th century lived in Down House in Kent and used to walk along this path, I think 3 times a day, in the morning, at midday, and again in the evening. And he used to play with his children here too. He had 7 children. Well, they had 10 children altogether, but 7 survived, I think. And he used to walk around here, and it's absolutely fantastic. And you can see there's a wonderful view here, looking over at the field. This was Darwin's thinking path, and for nearly 40 years he trod this path, eventually being wheeled around by his sons in a bath chair towards the end of his life, according to the leaflet from English Heritage. His children named it Sand Walk because the large gravel was bonded together with red sand, as you can see here. Apparently not much has changed since Darwin rented this piece of land from his neighbor in 1846 and planted the trees. Accompanied by his fox terrier, Polly, Darwin would set out on his daily ritual of a walk. He had perfected the routine, according to the leaflet. Close to the corner by the ash tree where the path splits were 5 flint markers. Every time he passed this spot, Darwin kicked a flint aside to count each lap. 5 laps made a healthy mile of exercise. However, the Darwin children loved playing games and would replace the flints so that their father would continue around the path again. Taking advantage of the children's energy, Darwin involved them in his experiments. To chart the flight path of bumblebees in the meadow, Darwin dusted bees with flour so the children could chase them to their next stopping point. I think this might be the place where the path splits, where there's an ash tree. But I don't know what an ash tree is, so I'm not sure. But this could be it. So you can go either this way, which is the way I started, or you can come this way. The sandwalk was a place Darwin could reflect on the momentous theories he had revealed to us, can be seen off in the distance. I'm still standing on the side. A turnstile leads into a public footpath across the meadow, or there's a gateway back into the rhubarb in Darwin's experimental garden. So this is where Darwin did most of his experimenting, although he did some in the greenhouse that you can see blue down at the end of the garden. Here's a closer view of the greenhouse where Darwin experimented with carnivorous plants. This is the greenhouse that Darwin worked in. These are some of the carnivorous plants. I don't think they belong to Darwin. This is the type of plant he experimented. I believe this is the laboratory, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be in here or not. This is the tennis court. By 1881, the flyer says, Darwin's health was deteriorating rapidly. He was plagued by angina. This orchard was a late addition to the gardens, probably with the sole intention of building a tennis court. The children were very keen on this development, as lawn tennis was popular and a fashionable sport for the upper classes. The tennis court was a place where ladies and gentlemen could socialize with one another. Sadly, Darwin died less than a year after the completion of the court, and his illness makes it unlikely that he ever played tennis. The court is unusual as it isn't a perfect rectangle. This is because the first set of rules for lawn tennis specified that courts should have this shape. You can see it comes out a bit at the end. And I believe it comes out at that end too. It's got a bit of a, it goes in a bit in the center, really. Children still like it here. This is the back of the greenhouse. This is the back of Darwin's house. These flower beds were, well, they excavated to figure out where his wife had planted her flower beds. And this is where they were. It's really nice. They have chairs out the back for people to sit on, but only a couple. So I didn't get a chance to sit on the chairs, but I was able to sit on the benches set into the windows. Very nice. I particularly like this view of the fields for some reason. It's so flat looking, and I love those metal fences. I finally managed to get one of these chairs. I guess it's getting late in the day. A lot of people are leaving. It's really nice sitting here in the sunshine. You can see the beautiful trees. The sundial. And these two rather unusual trees.